Intuitive, welcome to Demystify the Divine, and so excited to have you here. We today are talking about our universal laws and doing a universal law segment. And as you know, feel free to like, subscribe, and click the bell if you like what you see here. Universal laws, what are they? They are the laws that allow us to really tap into and engage with our energy and understanding how we are, I want to say, from a human perspective, on our journey of ascension, what it is that we're supposed to be learning, and some of the laws of this world, the earth plane in this particular dimension that can help us to get to where it is that we want to go. And I said last month, I was inspired last year while I was laying by the pool. I got this new deck, the Spiritual Awakening, the Universal Laws Oracle cards. And I just was really drawn to it. I got a hit that I needed to explore what all this hubbub is about with the universal laws and how to really make that work for me in my manifestation practice. And I got so into them that I decided this was definitely something that I needed to share and talk about with all of you, because we are all on this ascension path. So this week, our universal law is the law of neutrality. Practice non-reaction and staying in equanimity. This is a big one. And here's why this is really important. And I'm going to read the messaging in a second of what the actual card is. But the law of neutrality is something that for years I struggled with. The same idea as the law of non-attachment. The idea that I'm supposed to remain neutral. I don't want high highs and I don't want low lows. Well, how do you manage life in that regard? How do you not enjoy those high highs in those moments of pure joy, pure bliss, pure excitement where you're all in? And then, also having those low lows, especially being such a passionate person. This law really struck me as odd or funny or almost impossible until I figured out that it's not about not experiencing those high highs and those low lows. It's about recognizing that when I remain neutral in my understanding of why it's happening, then that neutrality can really work for me. So I'm not, going up into the stratosphere and then coming crashing down and feeling like the whole world is against me, feeling that victimhood, that victim status. No, neutrality is understanding that it's all happening and working to my benefit. It's all working on my behalf. From a divine blueprint perspective, I chose to have these certain experiences for my own personal soul growth, and the collective is having certain experiences for the collective spiritual growth and ascension, and that soul growth extension. And when we're talking about the law of neutrality, it's understanding that I don't have to get totally worked up about it. I don't have to get angry or frustrated or irritated. And if I do, I can let it pass me by. I can let it float like a cloud on a beautiful sunny day with the clouds, the big puffy clouds just going by. I can, find the rabbit in it or, look at the pretty castle in the clouds. I don't have to attach myself to some deep-seated feeling or emotion that is coming up for me. And the law of neutrality is really beneficial in helping us to understand the role of emotions in our lives. I often say feelings are neither true nor false. They just are. And from a human perspective, we've all come into these lives to have this complete range and scope of the emotional experience, feeling all the feels. But we have to understand that there's a bit of detachment with that. I can have these feelings and be in the experience of the feelings, but those feelings are there sort of as signposts or goalposts or neon flashing signs to say, hey, there's something here that I need to examine further or something that I need to reflect upon. There is something that is activating me or triggering me or encouraging me or catalyzing me into that next that next level for me. And it's up to me whether I choose to step into it or not. But if we connect on a very deep emotional level to those feelings and we get stuck in those feelings, well, now that neutrality is completely out the window, right? Now it's not the experience of, okay, what is this here to show me? It's the I'm getting rageful. I want vengeance. I want to be right. I want to be heard. My ego starts to drive the bus and steer the boat. And it's not about the ego experience. It's about that neutrality. What is this feeling or this emotion coming up to share with me at this time? And I can choose to respond to it. I can choose to engage with it in an intentional, aware way, or I can be completely unintentional, completely not aware, and throw spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks, to be very reactionary. And it's in those reactionary moments that we often have remorse, regret. We say things we don't mean. We say things we can't take back. And it often can create a larger issue or a larger problem when if you just get into the neutrality of what it is and understanding it's showing up for a reason to give me perspective on something deeper that I'm working on at a soul level. That's the game changer. So when we're talking about the law of neutrality, practice non-reaction and staying in equanimity. So equanimity, staying equal. Now, I'm going to tell you, as a spiritual being having a human experience, this is not so easy, especially for someone like me. I'm so passionate about everything, and it's not like I've got an opinion on everything. It's more that I have feelings about things, right? And so you bring up a topic and I have an experience. I have a feeling or an emotional response to what you're saying. Whatever that response might be, there's something there. And the natural inclination is to speak that, to share that, to verbalize that. And of course, I can always speak my truth. The law of neutrality doesn't say shut up. The law of neutrality says pay attention to what choices you're making as a result of what you're feeling. You know, you can speak your truth all you want. Pay attention to your audience, know your audience, choose your time, read the room. And all of these things will help you in the long run to be able to feel what you feel about a situation and to take some time to sort that out and decide how you wish to engage with it. You know, it's the yield sign. It's not the stop sign, it's the yield sign. You know, it's the roundabout when we're driving. It's the, I'm going to take a little bit of a slower path here to take time to reflect a little bit on what's actually happening. I'm not stopping, and I'm certainly not getting stuck in what I'm feeling or emoting. I'm still moving, but I'm not moving full speed ahead. I'm giving myself a chance to look around, to see what I need to see. The law of neutrality is here for us. So let me read to you what the message is in the book. Universal law of neutrality, practice non-reaction and staying in equanimity. This law teaches us the secret to experiencing free will. The moment we end judgment, we free ourselves from feeling the effect of polarity. When we emancipate ourselves from conflict, upsets, and viewpoints, we are able to authentically be the cause of our lives. Cause and effect. Spirit creates from nothing. It is the first cause. Align with this law to set yourself free. Be here now. Awaken the oracle within. You may be experiencing a type of tug of war in your life. The moment you put a positive or negative meaning on something that has or has not occurred, you instantaneously experience a positive or negative feeling. By drawing this card, your higher self desires for you to practice staying neutral in your perceptions and to not take things personally. When you can do this, you will experience true freedom of choice. The universe is guiding you to practice non-reaction and staying in equanimity. I love this. The fact that they're talking about the judgment piece. What creates a lot of our reactivity from an emotional perspective? The feeling of being judged or the experience of judging someone. It gets our blood boiling. It gets us excited. It gets us animated about something. It lets us know where we stand on a particular issue or topic. When we don't place judgment on things and we simply approach it from that perspective of, here's an interesting experience that I'm having. What am I noticing about myself? What am I noticing about my feelings? What am I noticing about the responses of other people or the reactions of other people or the choices of other people around me? Being in observance of our own life, being the observer in our own life, makes such a huge difference in the way that we approach our lives and the way that we can ultimately experience soul growth. Growth does not always have to be painful. That is a misconception. And I feel like this law of neutrality is inviting us into that. This is soul growth without the pain. Soul growth without the torture that we put ourselves through, or the rumination, or the feelings of alienation or judgment being different. It's taking the step back and observing. Wow. So that's what I got for you guys today. Really excited to be connecting with you in these ways. Please feel free to put in the comments any insights that you have as a result of these teachings. You know, the universal laws are here to really help us to anchor in and get the most out of our lives. But we have to, like anything, you know, it's wisdom. We have to apply it. And so please feel free to put in the comments, share your experiences around neutrality. You know, even if you have some questions on it, deeper questions on it, let's start a dialogue. Let's have a conversation about this. We are all in this together. We don't have to do this alone. So I hope you guys have the most amazing week. Thanks for tuning in to Demystify the Divine. We will see you next week. In the meantime, transform well.